This is a video on how to configure the rotary motion sensor for linear measurements within PASCO Capstone. I have my rotary motion sensor attached to my 850 interface, and now I'm going to go over to the Hardware Setup tab. We can see that we have the rotary motion sensor attached to port 1. The sensor is selected. We can see that by the bold outline on it, and also by the name of the sensor shown at the bottom of the screen. I'll now select the gear for properties. And within this menu, we can see that we have a pull-down menu in which we can configure the linear settings for the rotary motion sensor. We can either configure it for any of the pulleys on the system, large, medium, or small, for the groove, or we can configure it for the internal rack and pinion, or for other more specialized experiments, we can use a user-defined ratio, for instance, for the black body experiment. And then once that is selected properly, we'll go to OK to close that window. Next, we'll select the Data Summary tab. And we can see here that we have all of the different measurements that we can get from the rotary motion sensor. If you're configuring a lab in which your students will only be measuring linear quantities, we can hide the angular quantities by going to the eyeball on the same line as the rotary motion sensor. And then we can deselect each of the angular quantities. That way, only the linear quantities will be available to your students for their graphs, tables, or any of the other displays or analyses that they wish to do.